Hey guys, my name is Derek Wolf from Over the Fire Cooking, and today I'm going to be showing you two of my favorite recipes that are coming out of my new cookbook, Food by Fire. On the menu today, we're going to be doing two recipes out of my new cookbook, and the first one is skirt steak with a spicy cilantro chimichurri. 5 years ago, I was working the typical 8 to 5 job and I was lacking in inspiration. I came across a chef that cooked over open pit fire and I was hooked. I wanted to try it at home, so I bought myself a little popover grill and I took it back home cooking skirt steak with chimichurri. In my new cookbook, Food by Fire, you're gonna be venturing into two styles of fire cooking. That includes direct and indirect. On the direct side, we're gonna be doing everything from grilling, like we're gonna do with these skirt steaks, to cooking on the coals, which we're actually gonna be talking about with these lobster tails. All right, so now that you know a little bit about me, let's get to cooking over fire. All right, so the first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna make our spicy cilantro chimichurri. Why am I gonna do that? That's because I want all the flavors to marinate while I'm grilling my steak, and that's gonna give us some epic chimichurri. When it comes to cilantro, especially in chimichurri, I don't necessarily need it to be super finely chopped. I just want it to be enough that it will mix together really well with everything else inside of the chimichurri. And there we go. We're gonna move on to our parsley. So in traditional chimichurri, the base is actually just parsley. It's gonna be parsley and oregano. We actually don't have any oregano in this recipe, but also in my cookbook, I do a classic chimichurri for those that want to stick to the traditional flavors. All right, next on our list, we're gonna mince up some of this garlic. All right, now for our last couple of ingredients. So we got some serrano and jalapeno that's gonna go right in. I'm gonna do some green onions or scallions. Salt, pepper, and red chili flakes. My favorite part, the red wine vinegar. And then last, really good olive oil. All right, so now that our chimi is ready to go, I'm gonna set it to the side and let's go season our steak. All right, so I have a whole skirt steak that I've cut into 3 separate sections. I'm gonna lather it down with a little bit of canola oil. It's gonna be high smoke point oil, as well as some salt, pepper, and a little bit of chipotle powder. And now that we're ready to go, we're gonna set this off to the side and we're gonna start prepping our lobster. Coming back to cooking on the coals in our direct style of cooking, we're gonna do some lobster tails and we're gonna cook them directly into that hot charcoal. Yes, it is delicious. No, it's not ashy. Yes, it's safe when you do it right. All right, so for this guy, we have some salt, some pepper, some garlic, and a little bit of cumin. We're gonna blend that all together along with a little bit of oil. Same thing. Lather this guy down a little bit. It's gonna help it from sticking. Then I'm gonna mix these all together. And then lightly season. And there you go. These guys are ready to go right on the coals. All right, so we got our skirt steaks down on a searing hot grill. This is really gonna help. It's a thin cut of steak, so I wanna cook it really hot and really fast. We're gonna cook these guys for only 2 to 3 minutes aside, maybe even less. Make sure you're checking internal temp. We're shooting for it to be about 120 internal. That's gonna be medium rare slicing into these steaks. All right, so we're gonna pull these guys off. We're gonna let them rest for only a couple of minutes before we slice into them. But now let's cook those lobster tails. All right, so now that the steaks are rested, we're gonna slice into them, but we wanna make sure we slice against the grain. The way I'm gonna do that is I'm gonna actually slice this way into 2-inch segments, and then we're gonna twist them 90 degrees and slice again so we slice against the grain. All right, so lastly, we got this spicy cilantro chimi. You can serve it 2 ways. You could add it right on top of the steak and everybody can pick off right on top of the cutting board, or you could serve it on the side. We like to serve it right on the cutting board. All right, and that's as easy as it gets, cooking this skirt steak with a spicy cilantro chimi, as well as grilling these lobster right on the coals. There are 50+ recipes just like this found in my new cookbook, Food by Fire. I'm so stoked to share with everyone all of the tips and tricks that I've learned on my journey of falling in love with over the fire cooking. Cheers.